Yo, what's up, guys? Genius X here, and today we have our week 1 match in the ISL against Steven, aka Dan Plays Hard Gold. So from his team preview, you can see he brings a Crobat, a Aerodactyl, a Togekiss, a Cincino, a Fortress, and a Garchomp. That's Mega Garchomp, of course. And I bring what I bought in the team builder. If you want to have a more clear description, you can go check out the team builder. But I bring Metagross, Keldeo, Hydreigon, Rotom, C, Rodriguez, and Frodo. So, from the team preview itself, I can see that Metagross does a lot of work against his team. It deals about 5 out of 6 members of his team, except for some that Eevee did always KO. And Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash combination can deal with all 3 of his flying types, and Cincino can't do anything back to my Metagross. So, starting off this game, I believe I am going to lead with my Hydreigon since it is Scarf and it outspeeds everything on his team that is non-Scarf. Of course, he could bring Scarf, U-turn, Scarf Crobat, which could be a problem. But the thing is, Scarf Crobat can't do as much damage as it can, so U-turn would only do about 36%, I believe. So I highly doubt that he will bring Scarf Crobat, and I hesitated to go for Flash Cannon here, predicting the Togekiss, since it is a hard check to my Hydreigon. Because I didn't pack U-turn on this Hydreigon, I only packed Flash Cannon, but I thought that Draco Meteor was definitely in the right place, since I do have a dedicated switch into Togekiss in my Garbodor and my Metagross. So I just went for the Draco Meteor, and it puts him in range of Stealth Rock, which is great, and he U-turns out. So once we get up rocks, this Crobat is gone for good, and his only hazard removal is in Fortress, which can't really get rid of hazards that well, but he goes into his Cincino. I go into my Capagrika since most of these are physical, and I am a physical wall. He goes for a Dazzling Beam, just nothing. And I do have my leftovers recovery. He goes for a Rock Blast. He has Skilling, so that is going to do hit 5 times, and I can pretty much just Will-O-Wisp this in. So off to a very good start here, and I went for the knockoff here because I can get rid of the item on everything. And this is when Togekiss comes in. He actually has the Eviolite, which he told me later that he copied his Togetic set, but forgot to change the item. So I knock off the Eviolite off the Togekiss. Doesn't really do much since Eviolite doesn't do anything on Togekiss anyways. And here I can either go Garbodor or go Metagross. Now his whole team is not weakened yet, but because my Metagross has rocks, I wanted to set up rocks as quickly as possible to be able to pressure the Crobat, which is why I went into my Metagross right here, I believe. Yeah, I went into my Metagross, and he went for the Flamethrower. I don't know if he predicted me or what, but that did 76%, and he burned, which pretty much just rendered my Metagross useless. Because if he didn't burn, my Metagross naturally outspeeds this Togekiss since we know it's not Scarfed, and Meteor Mash does KO this thing. And then, even if he goes out into his Fortress doesn't have anything to deal damage to me, as later revealed. And I can pretty much just set up my rocks in the Fortress's face. And a Burn just pretty much renders this thing useless against Aerodactyl and Garchomp, since Ice Punch will only do 40 to 50%. So, because I am burned, I decided to just set up my rocks instead. Because, like, this Metagross is useless now that it's burned, and let the Togekiss take me out. So now I go into my Garbodor since I said it's my dedicated switch into my Togekiss, but I just wanted to set up rocks as fast as possible, so I went into my Metagross. He's going to switch out into Fortress, expecting the Poison move. And I do pack the HP Fire on this thing, so I am not afraid. I go for the HP Fire as he goes for his rocks. And he goes for the Explosion. I don't know why he's faster than me. That is something I have to check. But he goes into his Garchomp. Now, I go into my Keldeo since I know I can take any hit, and I am definitely faster than this thing. And he goes for a Fire Fan, expecting my Rotom switch in. I wouldn't have gone Rotom there because Rotom is very important for the Togekiss now that Metagross is gone. And just trading Rotom for Leaf Storm, Specs Leaf Storm only does about 70 to 80%, and I don't think it's worth it. because I don't need damage on Garchomp to be able to pick it off with anything. Because Hydreigon OH KOs it, Coppergregus walls it, Keldeo doesn't need Leaf Storm damage to be able to kill it. So I just straight up go for their Scout here as it takes out the Cincino because Cincino's special defense is ass. Goes on into its Aerodactyl. I know aerial Ace or a flying attack is coming, so and I have no solutions. I don't want my Cofagrigus to be weakened because that thing is my check to the Togekiss. So I decided to just sack my Keldeo here as he goes with a Sky Attack. I don't know if an aerial Ace would have killed, so that might have made a difference. But now I can just go into my Kofag. It is my Fizz Death Wall, and I can pretty much just Will-O-Wisp this arrow. So I'm Will-O-Wisping everything on this team. And now I believe I just go for the Pain Split. No, I went for the Shadow Ball. So Cofagrigus is putting in a lot of work this game. He goes for a Dragon Claw, does 7%. Again. And then we take out the Aerodactyl with the Shadow Ball. So I believe he goes into his Garchomp here. Like again, I can Pain Split on this thing. I choose to go for the Pain Split before the Will-O-Wisp because I know I cannot take 2 Earthquakes, even if it's one healthy Garchomp and the Burn Garchomp. So if I Pain Split up with the leftovers recovery, I can definitely live, except for crits. So now I just have to hope Will-O-Wisp lands, and it does. So if my Will-O-Wisp haven't landed, that match would have been way more difficult because my Cofagrigus would have went down, and my only way of dealing with his Garchomp was with Rotom or Hydreigon, which Leaf Storm can be checked by Togekiss, and Draco Meteor can also be checked by Togekiss, and Dark Pulse is not going to do crap. So we do manage to connect our Will-O-Wisp, and I think that is pretty much game, because he can't do Rotom outspeeds Togekiss, and his Crobat dies to Rock. So yes, that is game, and that is going to be our week 1 match against Steven. So we pick up a 3-0 on our first week, so a very good match to Steven. When Metagross was burned, it really made the match a whole lot more harder because I could have taken out the Togekiss, so I could spam Draco Meteor with Hydreigon and spam Leaf Storm with my Rotom. So that burn was pretty unfortunate for me, but we did manage to pull through, and that's going to be our first game of the week. So I think that is it.